who would like to remind you that it's a long way to empty in a Datsun. A long way. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
It's a very special thing to have Monday Night Football in the national capital. It always has been, and we have a very special pride tonight to be able to start the second decade of Monday Night Football. We've got, we think, a great contest coming up and a great week coming up. A special Thursday night edition as the Rams go to Tampa to go against the Buccaneers, a replay of their playoff game of a year ago, perhaps. In the meantime, Washington must do it tonight without John Riggins if they're to do it, even as Dallas must do it without Roger Staubach, as you already know. The Riggins graphic and figures speak for themselves. He was one of the finest backs in the National Football League. He is now on retired reserve, so he'll not be playing football this year. And two, one of the hottest, one of the most traditional rivalries in the league between two clearly excellent and contending teams. To tell you more about the Washington Redskins, starting his 10th year on Monday Night Football, I've grown accustomed to your face. You almost make my day begin. The Gipper.
You're growing on me. It is a game I'd like to be home watching, quite frankly, because that is the kind of football Dallas and Washington plays. And Howard showed you at the top of the show what happened in the last game of the season between these two teams. Dallas won the Eastern Division of the NFC. Washington lost by 1 point. They don't particularly like each other, these two football teams. And for Joey Theismann coming in tonight, well, you just saw his confidence blossom a year ago when no one was looking over his shoulder as Billy Kummer did for a couple of years. 3 years in Canada, came to the Redskins in 1974, didn't start till 76, and last year he was the second-ranked quarterback in the NFC behind, well, you guessed it, the one and only Roger Staubach. Roger will not be here tonight. He's in Dallas. He'll be watching the game along with you. And, Don, you left the Cowboys one time as a quarterback. There's a little pain and a little anguish.
Yeah, there's a little pain when you leave out of that thing. And one of the things that, you know, Roger's not going to be here. We've said that a bunch of times. And as a matter of fact, though, there he is right there, Roger Staubach. He's not here. Well, it won't be the same without Roger, but then, hey, nothing ever is. One of the things when you come into a game like this, I think any player, whether it's Roger Staubach, Danny White, anybody, you want to play in football games like this. There's a lot of pressure on Danny White, but I don't really think that the pressure is going to be the key thing tonight. Dallas is coming in as an underdog, and that's kind of unusual. The rivalry that these two teams have had has been discussed. It's really true. The Cowboys, for the first time in an awful long time, are not picked to win their division. They're here to play Washington. I bet you there's not a guy down there on that field who would change places with anybody else tonight, because that's what kind of night it is when the Cowboys and the Redskins get together. The Cowboys got some trouble in the secondary. We'll get to that a little bit later, but right now I want this game to get started. Get my friend and yours, Shake Tiller Worry. Let's get this thing kicked off, Frank. Let's go.
Tom Landry beginning his 21st year, the winningest coach in the 70s. He has had a remarkable record since joining the Cowboys, the only coach they've ever had. 14 straight winning seasons. 13 trips to the playoffs, 11 division championships, 5 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 6 and Super Bowl 12. Jack Pardee, a great name in football, was a superb player with the Los Angeles Rams, later the Redskins, successful in the WFL, successful at Chicago, took them to the playoffs for the first time since 1963. He brought the Redskins back last year to a 10-6 record. They're a better football team this year than they were a year ago, and the Cowboys are hurting somewhat. Don mentioned their problems in the secondary. We will talk about it because it could be one of the key elements tonight. Vinnie Barnes, the veteran cornerback, an appendectomy this morning, out for 3 to 4 weeks. Charlie Waters, the all-pro safety, playing on a very gimpy knee, coming off off-seam knee surgery. And Dennis Thurman, replacing a retired Cliff Harris at free safety. Cliff Harris, an all-pro for many years. Aaron Mitchell, a second-year man, will start at the right corner, replacing Aaron Powell, number 34. So you would have to suspect the Redskins and Jack Pardee would like to exploit that weakness in the secondary. Dallas has won the toss. You're looking at James Jones, a rookie out of Mississippi State. He's 5'10", a 201-pounder. He can really fly. Mark Mosley will kick off for the Redskins as they began their 1980 football season. There is Mosley. 9 rookies have made this Cowboy football team, so obviously they are in a period of transition. So sit back and enjoy one of the classic matches in football. The Redskins against the Dallas Cowboys, and we are set to go. 55,000 wild-eyed Redskin fans. Mosley, typically, boots it high, and this will be Jones. Jones turns the corner out over the 25. Hit hard there. The special teams of the Redskins are always well coached, and they execute so well. Offensively, we will see Danny White, of course, at quarterback number 11. Ron Springs has replaced Robert Newhouse, number 20. He's in there with Tony Dorsett. The wide receivers are Tony Hill, number 80, and Drew Pearson, number 88. There's the offensive line, a good offensive line, solid. They've been together. They're well coached. Both teams 3-1 in the exhibition season, coming off final preseason losses: Dallas to Pittsburgh, Washington to Tampa Bay. The crowd has got to be a factor for some of the young Cowboys tonight. There is no crowd like a Washington Redskin crowd. Dorsett, a little delay, slithering along the line of scrimmage, darts to the left and picks up a couple of yards hit there by Big Dave Butts. And he is having a fine preseason. Is the unpredictable one, Dave Butts, about a 290-pounder, if you will. There are your linebackers. We will probably see a great deal of Monty Coleman, number 53, a second-year man at linebacker. And there is the secondary. 3 of them, Pro Bowlers. Lamar Parrish, Kenny Houston, and Joe Lavender. They're excellent. The cornerbacks, Parrish, Lavender, 16 interceptions between them a year ago. Second down and 8. Ball just short of the 28-yard line. Dorsett, following Scott, turns the corner, out close to the 35-yard line, hit there by Kenny Houston coming up from strong safety, short of the first down, third down, and a long 2.
It's always wise to keep your eyes on Kenny Houston, number 27. Perennial all-pro strong safety. Andy, you'll remember his one-on-one tackle at the goal line that kept Walt Garrison from going in 73. One of the classic plays on Monday Night Football.
Really was an exceptionally good defensive play. The thing that Dallas is doing with Dorsett right now is not surprising either, I don't think, Howard, because 2 plays, let him run with the ball. I'm sure they're going to try to get it to him as much as they can.
Third down, long 2. Tony Dorsett looking for his 4th consecutive 1,000-yard season. White wants to put it in the air. Wide open. The tight end is number 84, John Cosby. Incomplete. Monty Coleman back there defending. We told you, you'd see a lot of him. He's a great athlete. 11th round draft pick. One of Bobby Beathard's specials, the personnel manager for the Redskins of a year ago. 4th down coming up.
An example, Frank, where you had a receiver open for a first down play. The ball stayed in the air a little bit too long. Hung there a little bit too long. Colby didn't have a chance to hold on to it.
There's Coleman. Danny White. They did not want him to punt this year. They couldn't find anyone better. He was the second leading punter in the conference a year ago. Deep is Mike Nelms, another Bobby Beathard find in Canada. He led the CAFL in returns a year ago, and he'll get the call at the 20. The setting up.
Oh, that's good. Right there. That's a good one.
The Redskins and their special teams. This is what they do to you. Constantly. To the 39-yard line goes Mike Nelms.
Twice, Frank has mentioned Bobby Beathard, who, of course, is the general manager, who came up from Miami, who used to be director of player personnel for Shula, helped develop those great Miami teams. He may now be the best in the business at the discovery, evaluation, and procurement of personnel. He's the core of this rebuilt Washington team in the front office.
Joe Theismann tries to quiet the Redskins fans. First and 10, 39-yard line of the Redskins. First possession, Buddy Hardeman, left side, out over the 30-yard line to the 31 or 32-yard line. Theismann in there with Buddy Hardeman, number 22, also a young football player who came from Canada a year ago. Clarence Harmon is the fullback at the moment. We'll probably see Wilbur Jackson a little later. 83, Ricky Thompson. 80, John McDaniel, wide receivers. And we will see a 3-wide receiver platoon as we see it right now. Art Monk, a rookie from Syracuse, the Redskins' #1 draft pick, their first draft pick that they've had since 1968. Second down, 7. Ball at the 42-yard line. Fires complete. Goes to Hardeman. Gain of about a yard and a yard and a half. He wanted to go to Monk. Monk was covered. He had to check off to Hardeman. Mike Hagman made the stop.
Good pressure there, Frank, from Larry Cole, who was playing in place of what a lot of people thought would be John Dutton. You see the defensive line, Harvey Martin.
And Bob Brunig, the middleman, is always a key factor in any Dallas 4-3. And there is that shuffled secondary we told you about. We will repeat it because it could be a major factor tonight. Third down and 5. The ball from 44-yard out of the Redskins. We're just underway. Tips it to Monk. Monk has the first down. Getting the ball in front of Aaron Mitchell, who performed well against Pittsburgh, but he does not have the finesse to play that spot as of yet.
I think both you and Dandy pinpointed the storyline as we look at Art Monk and his preseason record. Joe Walton, the offensive coordinator, the old Giant teammate of Frank's, doesn't like to go with his young ones, but Monk is clearly in the mold of Charlie Taylor, one of the all-time greats. He has the capacity to be almost as good, if not as good.
Redskins in Dallas territory at the 46-yard line. Monk back in there again. Motion man is John McDaniel coming towards you. This is Harmon up into defensively the play that Charlie Waters has been waiting to make since he had that surgery a year ago.
He needed that.
But the very point I wanted to make was, Frank, that both you and Dandy pinpointed what seems to me to have to be the storyline of this game. It's very hard under any circumstances to gain on the ground against that Dallas flex defense. They'll have to test that weakened secondary and go to the air.
There was a loss of 2. It'll be second down and 12. The ball now back at the 49-yard line of the Cowboys. Hands off. This is Clarence Harmon, left side. Piled up there defensively by the Dallas front four, the right side. Harvey Martin, Randy White there. It'll be third down and about 11.
It's hard to do it going to the air when you wait until third down to do it. Additionally, in the National Football League, you've got to throw early in each series against Dallas. True, Dandy?
Well, it certainly does help. It puts a whole dimension to it. I think what you're talking about really is true because you've got, as Frank mentioned, Billy Barnes is out, so you've got a lot of new faces back in there. You would think that that's what Washington's going to try to do is check them early. A lot of young guys that haven't played much.
Third down, long 11. Another rookie is in there as the 6th man defensively. His name is Clinkscale for Dallas.
On a quick look, it appeared that Theismann pulled away a little bit too early. That happens a lot of times on third down. Everybody knows you're going to pass, particularly the quarterback, so he left a little early.
Bob Kazeel was there for the Redskins. Fourth down, cutting. The Redskins bring out Mike Connell, who replaced a long-time kicker for the Redskins, Mike Bragg, who, by the way, is now over at Baltimore. Deep is James Jones. There he is on his own 10-yard line. The rookie from Mississippi State. Oh, Redskins have had problems with that center on their special teams. Fair catch called for and made at the 20-yard line, the Dallas Cowboys. 30-yard punt. The Cowboys will have their second possession at their own 20. And we'll be returning to a jam-packed RFK Stadium in the nation's capital after this.
These days, when one makes a long trip, one must choose one's transportation very carefully. I choose luxury and economy. My Datsun 280ZX. It has all the luxuries to make a long trip comfortable, and it has the cruising range to make a long trip possible.
The Datsun 280ZX. More miles per tankful than any other sports car you can buy.
We all should have one.
Wow, it's a long way to empty. In a Datsun, a long way.
Of all 1,800 life insurance companies in America, which company is giving 1 million permanent policy owners the chance to get more out of life? With an unprecedented decision to offer them $4 billion extra coverage with no increase in policy premiums. If this leadership and innovation is what you've been looking for, why not join the company that stands apart? Northwestern Mutual Life. Northwestern Mutual Life, the usually quiet company.
Okay, here we go. Little smile,
A carnival-like atmosphere has prevailed over the nation's capital for the last week. Anticipation, of course, for this meeting. These two teams having played so many great games over the years. Dallas now second possession. First and 10, the ball at their own 20-yard line. Ron Springs again. A fullback gets the ball, finds an opening over the right side behind Jim Cooper and Rafferty, and spurts out over the 25, close to the 28. Gain of 8, second and 2.
You learned about Ron Springs a year ago. He's a Gil Brandt special. Gil who is the ace discoverer and evaluator of personnel for the Cowboys and has done a remarkable job through the years, discovered Springs at Ohio State, where he was not what you'd call a star, but Gill knew that he was a great track man, and Gill knew what his potential was.
Good baseball player, wasn't he?
Springs carries it for 8, second down and 2. Hand off. Springs, first down. Out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. And he's in there because of a lot of talent. He is a good receiver. This they discovered. Actually, he was injured as a senior at Ohio State. He led Ohio State in rushing as a junior. But the Dallas Cowboys were able to get him on a 5th round because of that injury as a senior. That's how you build football teams, with people like Gil Brandt and Bobby Becker.
Exactly.
And with guys like Ron Springs and who else?
Let's try Tony Dorsett.
Yeah.
Back into the I formation on the first down. A delay again to Dorsett. And down goes Dorsett. Taken there by 37-year-old Coy Bacon over the right side. A gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Barry Brooks was the guy that kind of headed that one off, though, Frank. He's moved in there in place of a very familiar name when we do Redskin games. Is Tyrone Talbert, University of Texas. But Perry's had really good preseason. A little bit younger, and they say maybe a little bit quicker, and he's got the starting nod over Darren now.
Well, he went to Southern University. He quit for 2 weeks during this training season.
That's an interesting little story you got.
Yep.
2nd and 9. Redskins into a prevent.
Look out.
Right, got a man open. There is a flag down, and Lamar Parrish has the ball.
Well, there is a flag down.
Parrish brings it back to the 30. Again, there is a flag down at midfield.
We saw that the intended receiver was Drew Pearson. Drew was, it is going to be a call against Parrish because Drew was not down. Yeah.
Pushed him off.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it again.
Look at the time down. Denny's getting some good time, and man, that's nothing makes you feel any better than that. Says, okay, a little bit of a wobble, but you'll see Pearson's down. Lamar came on the inside. Didn't get a clear shot of it, but he did push him down the outside. All right. Hey, is this an ABC we're working at? Wait a minute. That's awfully close call, as a matter of fact.
It really was.
But that's what it was. Pushing. First down now.
Out at the 39-yard line, Gene Barth, our referee here tonight with his crew of NFL officials.
Lamar Parrish, a great veteran, came in a great trade engineered by Beckett along with Coy Bacon, who provided the pass rush.
Wide receivers, Pearson and Hill, move to the left. Both, bottom of your screen. Inside end on Dorsett. Spinning and twisting out over the 40, close to the 43-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Rich Malott, who's in there now at middle linebacker, number 57 in on the stop.
He'll see a lot of action tonight because Olkewicz isn't 100%. Dorsett found Olkewicz of Maryland, a free agent. Malott, Penn State. Where else? Linebacker, 7th-round draft choice. And Monty Coleman from Central Arkansas, all last year. And that's why Washington went 10 and 6.
2nd and 6, the ball at the 43-yard line. A little more than 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Dorsett gets the ball. Big opening on the right side, but he has to bring it inside, and he gets that little bit of extra effort going for him up just short of a first down at about the 48-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and long, too, as we take a look at Joe Theismann.
Yeah, leaders are lonely, but they do live a good life.
He's worked his way into a great quarterback in the NFL.
He's become a mature quarterback.
Well, he had a great year last year. The word around Washington, they say, well, look, is he going to be one of those flash in the fans, or can he really be a good quarterback? I think he's going to be a good quarterback.
He's disciplined now. He calls percentage plays. Gift.
3rd and less than a yard. The ball at the 48-yard line. Springs and Dorsett, the setbacks. Dorsett. Look out, he drops the football. That has been a problem for Dorsett. Oh, not all that big. He gets back on it. Dallas has a first down inside Washington territory at the 43-yard line. Monty Coleman made the hit on Dorsett.
Let's see where he hit. This is just a 3rd down short. Everybody's coming in. You see Springs trying to lead, come across on the other side. That was Rich Malott, the middle linebacker, kind of slid off. There he was right there. Almost not, he was knocked out of as much as anything else.
You saw the block by Billy Joe Dupree. He's a tremendous blocker. You also saw
Jay Saldi in there,
Jay
too.
Saldi, the other tight end. Short yardage offense for Dallas pays off. First down, 43-yard line of the Redskins. No score. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Drew Pearson in motion. Screen to the flanker, Tony Hill, and he can run it.
They caught him in a good... Oh, that was...
Down to the 25-yard line goes Tony Hill. First down, Dallas.
Getting back to the storyline, Washington's got to test that Dallas secondary, and they've been lax in doing it, giving away the first 2 downs on each series they've had the ball.
Here's a nice... You see Drew Pearson on the inside. It could have been a defensive mix-up because when Drew went in, the coverage went in there with him and left Tony out there by themselves. It's an old play in the Dallas playbook. Looked like Tony was looking for his first down marker, and he got it.
But they're doing exactly what they want. Possession and control. Use the clock. Frank.
Keep their defense off the field. Dallas would like to do that. Springs gets the ball on the first down. Surges for a yard and a half. It'll be second down and 8.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the nervous situation of Danny White. I'll guarantee you now that he's had the kickoff. He's had a kickoff. He's had a try first down. He's punted. Now, none of that stuff's in his head. He's now sitting out there and said, hey, I got a job to do. He is experienced. He's been around for a while. So those first pregame jitters by now are gone.
Danny White brings it up to the line of scrimmage. Tom Landry back to calling plays on the offense after working most of the preseason with the defense. Second and 8. Screen should be there. Springs.
Oh, that's set up nicely.
A beautiful screen. Springs will take it in, and easily. Flag is down at the 5.
I think they got a Cowboy over there for clipping. It looks like it's Drew Pearson from here.
So unnecessary at that point.
He had him wiped out anyway. You're right, Frank. Touchdown's going to be called back. That was Dupree, I guess.
Clipping against Dallas, and you will hear the roar of the Redskin fans.
A beautifully set up screen pass. That one was really well. A little fake into the line, drop back good, Springs set to the outside. They had good blocks.
You have to be impressed with the way White has handled this team downfield. Moving strictly, I'm sure, according to game plan, with Tom calling the plays now that the season started. But personal foul, number 88 offense, unnecessary roughness, still second down.
All right,
a bad penalty for a veteran.
Yeah, there's a little quick fake to Springs. You see that he sets back up, comes to the outside. Had a real good block there on the outside by Rafferty. Close him off. Springs does have that good, more of a broken field runner than Newhouse is. Not as big nor quite as powerful.
I'll tell you, that's a playbook screen.
That is.
The penalty moves them back to the 20. It'll be second down and 6.
That's got to be an audible. And there it is. And the outside receiver missed it.
Hangs one up, and it's taken by Drew Pearson, but it'll be short of the first down. A gain of a couple, maybe 3. Dave Butts was pressuring Danny White, and defensively, it was Lavender and Kenny Houston for Washington.
Frank, it looked very suspicious to me. I think Danny White made an audible move, and I don't think Pearson got it to the outside. You see Danny look up. Ordinarily, that Danny must have thought, or anyway, they usually call those when they think a blitz is coming, and that's a down and in move. Pearson, I don't think, heard it. Went ahead and ran an out route. They were lucky to get that thing off and get anything at all.
Dangerous pass.
Yeah.
Pearson gets it to the 17. They need to get inside the 15 for the first down. It's third down. 2 tight ends. Dupree, 89. Salvi, 87. Dorsett. He has the first down. Dorsett to the 13-yard line. What a remarkably gifted athlete, Tony Dorsett. If he gets 1,000 yards this season, he will become the first player in the history of the NFL to record 1,000-yard seasons their first 4 consecutive years.
Hasn't played much, Frank, since the opening, well, few plays of the Houston game with a bruised thigh.
I don't think they mind.
I don't think they do either.
Not playing.
Yeah.
They know what he can do. At the Redskins' 13-yard line, we have no score. 2:33 remaining in the first quarter. Dorsett again. They work the right side. Dorsett works the left side. Dorsett will pick yardage up. Dorsett close to the 5-yard line. At the 6-yard line, Pete Wysocki made the stop.
You talk about individual effort and skill. That was it. He did it on his own. Watch.
Ordinarily, of course, this is not going to work. And there's very few backs that can make it work even once or twice. He happens to be one of them.
Boy, is he fun.
Yeah, he is fun. I love this sort of jazz. Now, you see that, Thrill Hill's trying to get a block in there. Drew's trying to get a block. But it's basically Tony.
That was a pretty good tackler that missed number 24, Lamar Parrish.
That's right.
Short of the first down. It'll be second down, long 3. Ball inside the 7-yard line. Pearson split to the right by Danny White. Dorsett again. Touchdown, Tony Dorsett.
Man, that's a big hole over there.
They have been going to the right side against Carl Lorch and Dave Butts, behind the blocking of the big tight end Billy Joe Dupree and Jim Cooper.
Well, they got Cooper and Rafferty on that side. They really are pleased with their offensive line, but that's an awfully big hole. This is close down into the goal line. It's a big hole on the outside. I think you nailed it. It was good blocking. They're working that right side of the line pretty well.
And as Howard mentioned earlier, Dallas doing what they want to do. They are hurting defensively. They would like to be able to run the ball tonight, keep their defense off the field if they can. You're looking at Raphael Septien at his finest year as a field goal kicker a year ago. Puts it through the uprights, and the Dallas Cowboys have a 7-0 lead over the Washington Redskins. 2:15 remaining in the first quarter. And the mood of the crowd has quieted as the Cowboys take the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
Got a long day's work behind me.
That's it. Let's take them home.
Good times on my mind, and a setting sun to remind me I'm going back to a place called Miller Time. If you've got the time
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
we've got the beer.
America's quality beer since 1855.
Miller tastes too good to hurry through.
Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax,
It's real nice to have you here. Real nice.
one beer stands clear. If you've got time, we've got the beer.
Thursday on a special edition of NFL football on ABC Live. The Los Angeles Rams tackle the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a rematch of last year's NFC Championship. Thursday on ABC.
The offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys putting on a first quarter show. They are pushing the Redskins around the football field. Raphael Septien, deep for Washington. They like the ball to go to number 21, Mike Nelms. Septien will try to avoid Nelms. He will not. It will be the former Canadian Football League player from the goal line. Nelms out to the 50, still on his feet, and goes forward to the 17-yard line. And Dorsett put on quite a little show himself.
They'll get Rafferty, 64, get a good inside move on Butts. Coming to the outside, that's a good, really good lead block on the other side by Herb Scott, the guard coming through. There's just nobody there. Big hole. Touchdown. Touchdown, Tony. There you go, right there. Touchdown, Tony.
That block by Scott was a beauty.
Scott came through. I didn't notice that when I saw it before, but he did come through.
Jay Saldi. The Redskins. I know they would like to exploit that patched up secondary of the Cowboys, and they immediately go to the air. The receiver, John McDaniel. And it's complete out over the 20. First down, Redskins. Out over the 25. Close to a first down. We'll correct ourselves.
Now that's what they're going to have to do, Dandy. They're going to have to throw on the first and second downs of their series.
The man in there is Steve Wilson defensively. He was a wide receiver and a return specialist a year ago. And he is forced into play because of the absence of Vinnie Barnes. We told you top of the show, Vinnie Barnes, the veteran cornerback, had an appendectomy this morning. There was a first down at the 27. Buddy Hardiman, right side, piled up there as he gets a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Hageman in there defensively.
And that first down pass play, Frank, there was an excellent block by the center, Bob Zeal, who came out and blocked Edie Lewis, an outside linebacker, blitzing that time, which is going to throw it man-to-man coverage on this side. There's two ways to try to protect a young secondary, and one is to go into kind of zone coverages and try to give them double help. The other one is to try to get a lot of help from that front four and send a linebacker over now and then. The indication is Dallas is going to blitz.
The brain trust, Tom Landry, and of course Danny White. Second down, called it a long 8. Ball inside the 28-yard line. To the air goes Theismann again on first down. Firing complete is to the big tight end, Phil Du Bois. Bill Du Bois pressed into action tonight because of an injury to number 85, the regular starting tight end, but there's a flag back at the 18-yard line.
It is going to be a roughing the passer against Harvey Martin, it appears. Harvey was arguing a little bit with the referee. He must have hit him. Yep.
Du Bois in there again tonight because of a slight fracture of the fibula to Don Warren, the regular tight end of the Redskins. Here's the call, referee Gene Barth.
Well, this is Washington's first test of the year.
Roughing the passer, 79 defense. The 15 yards is tacked on to the play. First down.
There it is, exactly as Dandy called.
You see Harvey coming in. That's an awfully close call. Back in the old days when they didn't protect the quarterbacks quite as much, maybe
they would not have called that.
I don't think they would have, but there is a new rule to try to protect that quarterback. And
not a bad idea. Keep a few of them around a little longer. 41-yard line after the penalty. The Redskins on the Cowboys 41. Play action by Theismann. Going to McDaniel, almost picked off. It was Dennis Thurman who is in there for retired Cliff Harris. He's not big, but he has that knack for getting to the football.
He is all over the field, and he has been consistently during the preseason. He's been playing great football.
Well, there's a little play action back. He would look to be fairly wide open, but you'll see Thurman right now coming over. That's a ball that should have been picked off. And that's his job. Back of that, they always relate that to the center fielder. He has to cover a lot of ground, and they tried him at quarterback. He's much more comfortable with the free safety.
Second down 10, 41-yard line of the Cowboys. Harmon gets the call over the left side. Picks up 3.5 yards down close to the 38-yard line as the final seconds are expiring here in the first quarter.
But what Washington must do is establish to themselves that they can answer back and quickly because of the way the offensive line of the Cowboys manhandle them during the first quarter and enable the Cowboys to play according to their game plan.
Big play coming up for the Redskins. Third down and 6 in Dallas territory. They will not get it off. First quarter is over. A fast first quarter, and Dallas has a 7-0 lead. A Tony Dorsett touchdown. A Tony Dorsett and an offensive line showing by the Cowboys.
That used to be us, always rushing.
Right.
And that used to be us, always standing in line.
Right.
On TWA, we got our return trip boarding passes on our flight out, so we go straight to the gate.
Right.
We even reserved our favorite seats in advance.
Right.
And nobody can get you through the airport faster than TWA.
Right.
Since we have our seats together, we can work together.
Wrong.
You're gonna like us, TWA. You're gonna like us.
Right now, RCA will put control of a new 1981 color track in the palm of your hand. During RCA's Best for Less remote days, you can get Color Track remote control. RCA's Best remote control at $120 off your dealer's regular price, just by trading in your old color set and buying a 1981 Color Track console. Hurry to your participating RCA dealer and take control of a new Color Track.
You're looking at the best dandruff shampoo money can buy because it's been clinically proven best. Testing at a major medical school proved it works faster, gives more complete dandruff control than any leading dandruff shampoo. It's Selsun Blue, the only leading shampoo with selenium sulfide, the anti-dandruff ingredient doctors prescribe most. No other brand has it. Try Selsun Blue. It simply works best.
If that were reality, believe me, I can tell you who the winner of the debates would be.
Hands down. Idea.
Not a bad idea. Third down 6. An important play for the Redskins. The ball at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line of the Cowboys. Theismann. He gets the first down. Very close to it. It will depend upon where they mark it. I believe he has it close to the 30. Larry Cole making the stop on Theismann. And this is what Joe Theismann gives you a little extra. He's a fine athlete.
Dexter Clinkscale, the young rookie, missed Theismann up about 5 yards before, but that was a good move by Joe, and just coming back up under, he had pretty good pressure of that defensive line.
Dexter Clinkscale.
That's what I said, didn't it?
It's a very good name.
Yes.
South Carolina State.
Dexter Cleese. Yeah.
Free agent, by the way.
Yeah, he's got a couple of brothers. I think one of them's at South Carolina State now. One's at Duke.
That's a school for free agents. Witness Donnie Shell.
His brother Brent is the quarterback at Duke.
Really?
Very athletic spender.
I just thought I'd throw that out. See, I'm in the information business.
Ball inside the 31. Redskins down by 7. They're just underway in the second quarter. Theismann changing up at the line of scrimmage. Here they come. Look out, jump. A job going. And he dumps it off. D.D. Lewis pressuring Theismann on the blitz. And that's one way to compensate for lack of experience, such as the Cowboys have defensively in their secondary. You shoot your linebackers. And D.D. Lewis is a good one to bring in.
First quarter statistics. Clearly, look at that ground gained by Dallas. That's the key statistic. Total yards evolved from that. Dallas dominant throughout the first quarter. They've had 12 rushes and 4 passes. So they're making their thing work.
Second down, 10. McDaniel and 80 split left. Theismann to the air once again. To McDaniel. Complete. First down, he bobbles the ball. Nope, they say he did not have possession. Incomplete. Aaron Mitchell, Dennis Thurman, defensively for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Frank, then you know that really, truly, the ball was right there, and you know that McDaniels is going to catch this thing 9 times out of 10. So it's a good, I think you give a lot of credit. That ball was slightly tipped right there. Hey, look at Aaron Mitchell come in to strip him, and there's Dennis Thurman. That's the thing right there. These two kids were out of position. They came in and still caused an incompletion.
Frank, and the word on Mitchell is, I'm sure you know, he is a physical football player.
Point out dirt on the side of his helmet. He may not be the best in the world at one-on-one coverage, for example, but he's a hitter.
He's got a guard on his mask at the moment.
Sure.
Third down, 10. Inside handoff. Buddy Hardiman. Funny call to the 28-yard line.
And that was a Mitchell again that came in there and almost hit late, but that play was very slow in developing. Didn't get much out of the backfield. No quickness. Too slow. Those guys are going to recover. It's going to be interesting, I think, to watch Charlie Waters work that secondary. He's the defensive quarterback.
Well, you have to see how much. And Frank made the point he's going to hit because he's been self-protective because of the injury.
Mark Mosley comes on for the conversion attempt. 25 of 33 and 79. Most field goals ever made in the NFL. Straightaway kicker. Theismann is the holder. So you never know for sure they're going to kick. Off to the left. No good. And Dallas will take over. They'll have the ball. First and 10 at their own 28-yard line. So Jack Pardee disappointed in that drive of the Redskins. And it was a funny third down and 10 call. We'll be back in a moment.
Using this surgical fiber optic camera lens, Prestone Labs is going to show you what weak, neglected antifreeze can do to your radiator after only 9,000 miles. Look at these passages. Rust, corrosion. Continued neglect could clog them and overheat this radiator. Before this happens to you, put in Prestone 2. Prestone has a patented silicone silicate formula that forms a tough protective barrier to lock out rust and corrosion. Prestone 2 and Prestone Super Flush. No wonder we're #1.
You can lead a Dodson to the pump, but you can't make it drink.
Wow, it's a long way to empty.
Datsun pickups up to 25% better mileage than their biggest competitor. And Datsun King Cab is the roomiest small truck ever. Only one with jump seats inside the cab.
Wow, it's a long way to empty. In a Datsun, we are chilling on the way.
Tomorrow, relive the final moments of the day that changed the world. Pearl.
The only coach the Cowboys have ever had, beginning his 21st season, Tom Landry. First and 10, Dallas, 28-yard line, their own 28. They lead 7-0. Drew Pearson goes to the right. It's LeBron Springs. Springs turns the corner, taken out of bounds by Lavender, short of the first down.
Is Tom claiming face mask there, I wonder?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
It looked very suspicious.
You saw that little bounce-out move that Springs had. That's one of the main reasons why he's the starting fullback.
You know, he just gets it done, Don. He's nothing. He's not flashy like Dorsett.
That's
but he just always comes up with it.
I think that's what Tom was.
Face mask.
Yeah, Lavender kind of came around with that right arm. We couldn't see it too well, but it was right in front of Tom.
Springs collected 9 yards. A second down and 1. Ball out at the 37-yard line. Dorsett following Springs. Upended. Close to the first down is Tony Dorsett. Hit there by Terry Brooks.
Terry Brooks is a good one, I think.
He is terrific.
Yeah.
Third-year man, as I said, Southern University. Had never really worked hard. Decided to quit football. Left camp for 2 weeks. His wife had a baby. Came back. And started to work as he never had before. He's the key now, ahead of Coy Bacon, in Washington's ability to pass rush.
Dorsett got the first down at the 38-yard line. Tony Hill now split to the right. Drew Pearson split to Danny White's left. Dorsett. It's a block from Scott. All up. Short of the line of scrimmage. Rich Malott over there defensively from his middle linebacking spot for Washington. Quick reminder, Saturday coming up, NCAA college football action. It's going to be a beauty. University of Pittsburgh against Boston College. Now, Pittsburgh has a great defensive player in Hugh Green. They got a young sophomore quarterback in Dan Marino. Pittsburgh really a strong contender for the national championship. Other games, other regional action, Michigan State at Illinois, North Carolina at Texas Tech, San Jose State at Washington State, San Diego State at BYU, Florida A&M at Miami of Florida. Check your listing for the game in your area. There was a loss of 1 by Dorsett. Second down and 11. Dorsett gets the call, and down goes Dorsett. It was big Dave Butts hustling across there to make the stop and hold Dorsett. Back at the original line of scrimmage, it'll be 3rd and 10.
On the prior play, Frank called number 68, Herb Scott. In the first quarter, Dallas was running effectively over the right side of their offensive line. But the left side is a powerhouse side. And now they're beginning to move behind Pat Donovan, who's all pro, a great player, and Herb Scott is having a tremendous game.
3rd down 9. First time for the shotgun tonight for Dallas. White, a lot of time. Man was open, and he threw it into the arms of Mark Murphy, the free safety of the Redskins. Flag is down at midfield. Flag is down at midfield. There were 2 or 3 Dallas receivers open.
But there were 3 or 4.
And it's going to be called against the Redskins, but after the interception.
Let's take another look. I didn't see a great deal of pressure in here. See Fitzgerald up in the middle. They've got some time to throw. That's what you call a little bit of nervous speed in there. That was just a poorly thrown ball. I don't think anybody ran the wrong route. Didn't look like it to me. Just one of those balls that you kind of get back in there and you get a little nervous and throw it wrong. Throw it wrong people.
And Scott and Donovan made the tackle on Murphy. 2 men we just talked about.
Call illegal use of hands against the Redskins. We did not pick up the offender, but the Redskins maintain possession at their own 43-yard line. First down, the ball goes to Ike Forte. Forte sprints to the sidelines, out of bounds, about the 43-yard line, a gain of 1.5 yards.
So he's got Forte in, once a second-round draft choice from Arkansas by the Pats.
And Wilbur Jackson has come in.
And that's the guy, I think that's the guy you're going to have to watch. He's in good physical shape. He's excited this Redskin team. He's quick, the former Alabaman, who's great coming out of the backfield for the pass reception.
Last year, 53 receptions for the San Francisco 49ers. Coming off knee surgery a year ago, did not have the great rushing season. 375 yards last year with the 49ers. Second down and 8. Theismann. Good throw is out to Art Monk, the rookie from Syracuse.
That was a
Monk up for the first down.
Good throw that time. He got some pretty quick pressure. Joe set real well. There's the man that picked off that interception, Mark Murphy. Mark, you were in the right place, fella, at the right time.
Art Monk looks to be a good one.
Keep your eye on that kid, Dandy. He is going to be a great football player.
Art Monk, yes.
Yeah. He's like Tony Hill, as I think you mentioned, Howard. He was a running back for 2 years at Syracuse. And then last year broke all the Syracuse pass receiving records. Art Monk. Here comes the blitz. And Forte goes down in the arms of the middle linebacker, Bob Bruning,
who has improved enormously in the past year. In the meantime, you saw the quick glimpse of 50, D.D. Lewis, as we look at Bruning, out of Arizona State, 6 years. Lewis is one of, I think, 6 Cowboys at most, maybe 5, over 30 years of age. And he's been around forever, and he's always around the football.
And what did we count off for the Redskins? There were 15 over 30, I believe. Second down, 13. The ball just over midfield. McDaniel splits to the left. Phil Dubois in the slot. The ball goes to Forte. Turns back and runs into Randy White and Bob Bruning. Gain of a yard and a half. It'll be third and long. Third and call it 11.
Good to get that call.
Well, you were talking about it. I don't know whether it was on the air or during a commercial, but I believe you were referring to Weeb Eubank and Emerson Boozer running the draw.
Well, Weeb had a fetish, and he used it effectively, running calling a draw with 3rd and 10 or more. But he had Emerson Boozer and Matt Snell,
and he wasn't running against Randy White or Bob Bruning.
That's correct.
Those two guys covered it up pretty well.
It kind of makes it different.
Yeah. The ball at the 48-yard line. Theismann looking over the Dallas defense. Tries to go to Hardeman. He was covered by Dexter Clinkscale, the rookie free agent from South Carolina State. Fourth down, the Redskins will punt.
All right, quickly, an update on some baseball scores. The American League pennant race. The Birds of Baltimore are fighting back. They won the first game. They're leading the second game over tough Detroit. The Yankees scored 4 in the 9th, so they're ahead 7-4. Toronto Valley.
Mike Connell will punt for Washington. Off the side of his foot. Flag is down, and the ball goes out of bounds, very near the line of scrimmage. But again, a flag is down.
I bet Mike Bragg's not too far away. He's probably watching this one.
You know, Connell didn't kick at all last year. Penalty against the Redskins, and of course declined by Dallas.
Yeah, that's a toughie right there. You at least want to get them back down to their end of the field.
Refused, number 53, first down.
What was the penalty?
Illegal man downfield.
Illegal man downfield.
Refused. Dallas has the football at the 43-yard line. They also have a 7-0 lead with 9:02 remaining here in the second half. Sellout crowd at RFK Stadium, 55,000 plus. And we'll be returning after this message.
This ranch doesn't run without horses. And the horses don't run without you. But when you've hammered out a day's work, you meet up with Miller Time.
When it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
One beer stands squeeze.
Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
I'm Joe Duncan, State Farm agent, Cincinnati, Ohio, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents around the country. You know, there are a lot of reasons why people come to State Farm agents and stick with State Farm agents year after year. I think one of the big reasons is service. State Farm built its reputation on service. People expect it, they are paying for it, and we deliver.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Vern, the #1 sportscaster, tonight at 10.
It's Mike Connell. Had the ball go off the side of his foot. The punt good for 5 yards. Penalty against the Redskins. Declined by Dallas. They have the football at the 43-yard line. Drew Pearson, bottom of your screen. That's Tony Hill up at the top. Danny White on first down. Puts it in the air. Tony Hill. Tony Hill has a first down at the 44-yard line. He had a great preseason. Well, what's new? He had a great season last year.
It's a great player.
Frank, let's look at that. Well, this is an ISO on Tony, but what you can see, you see the linebackers going out. They faked a little screen to that side. Didn't get any help from the linebackers that time. He had Lavender pushed back because Tony Hill can run. Everybody knows that.
Lavender single coverage too, Don. That's tough.
Yeah, he was so far off him, it was ridiculous. But with Hill, normally the action first begins when he catches the football. That's his greatness.
Ball at the 43-yard line of the Redskins. Inside handoff. Dorsett. And Dorsett runs into Big Toy Bacon. A loss of a couple.
You know, Bacon always fools you, Don. Every year they write him off. He's too old. He had one of his greatest preseasons ever this year. Still superb on the pass rush, and tonight evidencing an ability against the run.
37 years old, 13 years in the pro.
Started with the Cowboys, didn't he, Don?
I've known him for a long time. Yeah, that's one of the few guys that are still playing I played with.
There was a loss of 3, so it'll be second down and 13. Tony Hill split to the right, Drew Pearson to the left. Danny White wants Tony Hill. He's open. A beautiful move. He turned Lamar Parrish every which way but loose.
He really did. The ball was thrown beautifully, and when it goes, Danny, got to feel better. Joe, you can do it too. Where do you get the ball?
Face speaks volumes.
They covered him again, one-on-one. They tried to bump him here, but then he was stuck with Lamar Parrish single coverage.
Frank, you know this is a week, you know, they call it also a corner route or whatever it is, but the ball has to be thrown before he makes that turn. And you can see that one was right on the money. Tony had a good heel. Parrish hasn't even come into the picture yet. So it was a good execution on both sides.
You do that to Lamar Parrish, that shows what kind of receiver you are, quite apart from the excellence of White's throw, because Parrish, a veteran, is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. All pro.
37-yard pickup. The ball at the 9-yard line. It'll be first and goal.
Another formation.
Out of the backfield goes Pearson. Inside handoff Springs. Springs met by Kenny Houston at the 5-yard line. It'll be second and goal.
You know what I like about Springs, Frank? He gets yards that you don't think are there.
He picked that hole pretty well, didn't he? Go ahead and make a little move back to his right.
Comment we made on Vegas Ferguson, the Notre Dame rookie with the Pats.
He was the leading rusher for the Cowboys in preseason. Switched, of course, from tailback a year ago where he played behind Dorsett, and he replaced Robert Newhouse as the starting fullback. John Springs, we're speaking of. Tony Dorsett gets the call. And he gets yardage you don't think he can get also. Down close to the goal line, inside the 2.
Certainly did on that play.
Ken Houston again, forced to make the stop. It'll be third and goal, inside the 2.
Well, again, you can see Big Herb Scott trying to lead in there. It's good close off on the right side of the line, but some of that certainly was made by Tony, who just followed the blocks.
Did you see that block by Springs against Monty Coleman?
Yeah.
3 tight ends. Billy Joe Dupree, 89, Jay Sowley, 87, Doug Cosby, 84. They have a wealth of talent at tight end through the Dallas Cowboys. That's Sowley in motion. Danny White has a man open, and it's not Cosby defensively. It was Mark Murphy for Washington.
Well, they played that pretty well. That was Kenny Houston on the outside. He didn't go for anybody's fake. They were trying to have a little fake to the inside. Danny wanted to get outside pressure. You got to get outside your tackle to really make that play effective. He'd have some threat of a run from the quarterback. They never got to the outside. Cosby had a hard time getting open.
Credit to the Washington defense.
Yes, sir.
Dallas with a first and goal from the 9, and Washington holds at the 2. Charlie Waters will hold for Rafael Septian on 4th down. 6:09 remaining in the first half. 19-yard attempt. A half a 9-iron. It's good, and Dallas extends its lead to 10-0. So Washington, with a good defensive effort, stay in the ball game. We'll be back in a moment.
It's no trick to make a more powerful car, but Datsun made one that gives you more power from less gas.
The sporty Datsun 200SX. Its fuel-injected NAPZ engine delivers more power from less gas than last year.
Don't forget the 5-speed.
Overdrive.
And the power disc brakes.
On all 4 wheels.
And best of all, the 200SX is a Datsun.
Wow, it's a long way to empty. In a Datsun.
A long way.
30 years ago, on a hot summer's day, your father taught you how to dig for clams. Now that it's a job, the sun seems hotter and the day longer, but the clams taste just as sweet. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer.
Saturday on NCAA College Football Live. Boston College battles Pittsburgh, plus other regional action. Check local listings for the exciting NCAA game in your area.
We're in the nation's capital. You're looking at a helicopter shot.
A little shaky up there. It's all right. It's pretty.
The Jefferson Memorial, and it is a beautiful night for football. It was warm today. Rafael Septian will kick off for Dallas. This will be Ike Forte for the Redskins. And Forte close to the 25-yard line. Make it the 26, piled up there. Bobbled the ball, and Gary Anderson came up with it.
All right. Now then, you're 10 points down.
They need a big play. They really do. Dallas has been able to maintain possession. They've been moving the ball on the ground, working on the clock.
Well, we may see a change in momentum here because they made a big play when they held Dallas on Dallas's third down, containing them to a field goal.
First and 10, the ball at the 25-yard line. Dallas has the football. 5 minutes more this far in this half than Washington. Wilbur Jackson is really hot.
You can't call plays like that. Not at this stage, not even in the beginning. You don't run on Dallas.
Bob Brunig filling the middle.
Was it Brunig in there?
Don't forget, a Thursday night special. This Thursday, just 3 days from now. Monday Night Football fever, second decade, and what a game we've got. The Rams come back to Tampa to go against the Buccaneers. With their brilliant defense, the two teams met in the playoffs a year ago, a repeat. Gipper?
Jackson, the single setback for Washington. Gets the call, right side. Ed Jones, who is playing better than he did when he left a year ago and set off on a boxing career.
He's a better player than he was before he started in boxing because training as a fighter quickened his hands and, for that matter, quickened his legs. He may have left boxing at just the wrong time. He might have had a shot at Scott Ledoux.
He also had good help from the outside that time with Mike Heckman, who came in to close. Heckman has been around for a few years down there in Dallas, but has never really been the starter. He's replacing Thomas Henderson, and they're expecting big things from Mike.
Third down, a little more than 9 yards to go. Theismann this time will go to the air on third and long. Fires out, intended for Clarence Harmon. Defensively, it was Anthony Dickerson, another free agent rookie out of SMU that's traveled around a little bit. They picked him up. He was out looking for work in Los Angeles.
Hey, Red, yay, Blues. SMU, smooth.
They do everything at Dallas. They really do. They're a great organization. They make defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and they make it work.
This is Connell. His last punt was 5 yards. Certainly, he will look for improvement. Jones calls for and makes the fair catch and bobbles it at the 42-yard line. The rookie from Mississippi State. Dallas again with fine field position following a 34-yard punt by Mike Connell. We'll be returning to the nation's capital right after this message.
Walt Garrison?
Hey!
You know, since I started going smokeless, I wouldn't be without my happy days. Just a pinch between my cheek and gum gives me real tobacco pleasure without lighting up.
Same goes for Skoal with its fresh wintergreen taste. And with either one, just a pinch is all it takes.
Walt?
Mm-hmm.
How many home runs did you hit in your career?
Try going smokeless. You're gonna like it.
Know what I like best about my Datsun? Just fill it and forget it.
Wow! It's a long way to empty in a Datsun.
The new front-wheel drive Datsun 310, now with 4 doors and a hatchback and a tank full of miles that'll drive you a long, long way.
Wow! It's a long way to empty in a Datsun. We are driven a long way.
Thursday on a special edition of NFL football on ABC Live. The Los Angeles Rams tackle the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a rematch of last year's NFC Championship. Thursday on ABC.
Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Don Meredith. Our first game of a new decade of NFL Monday Night Football. The Washington Redskins, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has a 10-0 lead with 4:21 remaining in the first half. They have good field position once again. The ball at their own 43-yard line. Billy Joe Dupree spit out top of your screen. You can just see his feet. He's the tight end. Dorsett gets the call. Inside handoff and gets out over the 45, close to the 46, hit by Coy Bacon, who's playing a fine defensive game for Washington tonight.
He really is. Brooks almost had Tony behind the line of scrimmage, but Tony slipped out.
He did. It was Fitzgerald's job to try to cut him off. It's a very difficult thing to do. Defense. You need some of it, and the offense wouldn't hurt either about this stage. But Butts is so big in the middle, he can control it pretty well. He's been there for a long time, Fitzgerald.
Springs is out. Dorsett single setback. Two tight ends. 89, Billy Joe Dupree. Jay Soudy. Soudy can play like a flanker. Screen. Dorsett. Oh, good defensive play. Dorsett still struggling in the arms of Rich Malott.
Malott read that play beautifully.
What he read was John Fitzgerald, who pulled out from his center spot and moved over there to set up a screen. Malott was reading that center, and he went right along with him, and then had the speed and ability to cut in on the inside of Fitzgerald, get back to where Dorsett was.
We saw this youngster last year. I think Howard mentioned it earlier. He broke his wrist in the 7th game, but he was really a surprise when he came up as a 7th-round draft pick. But I guess if he's a linebacker from Penn State, that's not too surprising.
They do it automatically. It's par for the course. Yankee rally, 4 in the 9th, salvage the game for them. They retain their 4.5-game lead. They won it 7-4. John's 20th victory.
3rd down, 18. Inside handoff to Dorsett, much like a reverse.
I think it is, and I think it's...
Look at him fly. Dorsett turns on the speed, gets the first down at the 45-yard line.
Now, how many times are you going to pick up 15 yards on a reverse? Now, not very often. I'll guarantee you. This guy right here is one of the few who can pull it off.
And he is putting on a show tonight. He's never played too well against the Washington Redskins in his 3 previous years. Here it is again.
Drew Pearson almost gets the clip. You'll see it right there, but he didn't. And now it just opens up. You see Rafferty out there in front.
What is the statistic on him? I think you guys might have read it. Every time he's gained 100 yards for Dallas, they've won. He's done it 15 times, and they won all 15 games.
Well, look at that discrepancy, a revealing graphic.
The first down at the 45-yard line of the Redskins.
What?
Movement on the left side. It should be Pat Donovan over there.
He says, wait a minute. What was that call now? Was it Hut 1 or Hut 2?
You've got to remember, Frank, Washington has never lost a Monday night game at home. They're 8-0. But there's a first time for everything.
Well, it's also just 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go to halftime.
Full start. You saw it. Cowboys move back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down, 15. Ball resting right at midfield.
And with a quick flash there to this carnival atmosphere again.
Lovely green eye.
Carnival atmosphere. That's what it is.
Dorsett adjusts back into the I formation. Here comes Drew Pearson.
Whoops. I don't think I'm going to go this way. I want to go back over here.
It's Ron Springs, and Ron Springs is really stacked up by Perry Brooks.
I told you, this kid has become a player.
Well, a lot of times when you see so much movement in Dallas's backfield, they expect the defense to respond to it. Sometimes they move too much, and the defense says, heck, I didn't have time to move. And that's kind of what happened that time. Perry Brooks wasn't influenced by that at all.
Where Perry Brooks works, he can't even see it.
Yeah, he said, was somebody moving back there? What was that?
2nd down, 15. They may get this play off before the 2-minute warning. Yes, they will. Danny White stands in there. Ball deflected back in the arms of Danny White.
That can only happen on Monday Night Football.
Well, I think he read about Chester Markle yesterday. His attempted field goal was blocked. He picked it up and ran it in for a score.
The year of the unusual.
Of course.
Yeah.
The bizarre.
Actually, you know, when you're a new quarterback coming in to try to place a stallback, you do everything you can to improve your statistics because that's the final line.
Now watch Coy Bacon actually get an arm on him right there.
Well, I got a question. Does he get a reception on this?
He certainly does. I have caught one myself. Danny White is one of the better athletes on that club. He actually has been timed in a 4.55.40. That's pretty swift.
He'll have to be pretty swift because when we come back, they will have the ball 3rd down and 25 at their own 40.
Used to good friends, to Tonight is kind of special. The beer.
Building inspector.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
I didn't believe you two could build your own house.
Yeah, well, don't look. It's not finished.
Well, I guess we'll just take our loan, Brown, and go home.
Well, maybe one quick look around.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
What are you going to do when you finish this place?
Just what I'm doing right now.
Super automotive values from Sears. Steering through the snow or rolling through the rain. Sears all-season steel-belted radio, the weather handler can handle it. Now on sale as low as $34.88 each. Get power to start. Get power to spare. Get the Sears 48. Now only $47.99 with trade-in. You save $7. At Sears, where America shops for value.
Sunday, the secret thoughts of women revealed. Lee Remick, The Women's Room.
Danny White comes back from a conference with Tom Landry, who is wearing a headset, consulting with Danny Reeves, who's up in the press box. That ought to produce something on 3rd down and 25. Danny White, of course, replacing Roger Staubach, whom we will speak with at halftime. He's watching the game in Dallas.
Isn't that it?
And while he's sitting there, I'd just like to thank him for some great years of football. Just watching him. He's special. 3rd and 24. Cowboys 10-0. 1 minute 55 seconds remaining here in the first half. Out of the shotgun. And it's complete short of the first down to Drew Pearson at the 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't get there first, but they did get him a little bit closer.
We'll wait to see whether we have the punting unit or the field goal unit. We will see Danny White punting. Raphael Seption, not the longest of kickers.
Well, you know, he's had a good preseason.
Oh, yeah.
Really, I think he's done a lot of, I'm talking about Raphael Septien, he's done an awful lot of off-season work. I think that his leg is a lot stronger than it was a year ago.
I tell you, the kid who could still kick this, be within range for him. Franklin with the bare foot at Philadelphia.
They're going to run this down and take a 5-yard penalty, and to use all the time they can. It's not going to affect the punt because Danny White will still be able to move the ball out of bounds if he wants to, or kick the ball high and still keep the Redskins in a hole. So they'll take the 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
The Eagles, that you mentioned Tony Franklin, they're the kind of the consensus pick for the NFC East, and they
delay of game, number 11 offense, still 4th down.
They blame quarterbacks for everything.
Yeah, now he's got a reception and a penalty.
I know it. That is doing
The man you're really talking about is Dick Vermeil.
Well, I was really talking about this. They just did a good job.
Browning, I call that man a wonder now.
You're paraphrasing Browning?
Yes, my last Duchess.
I see.
Danny White will punt. You had a quick look at Mike Nelms, a dangerous return man for the Redskins. Look at that punt.
Oh, that's pretty.
He hung it so high.
Wait a minute, that's Clifford. Did you see? That was kind of...
Fair catch called for by Mike Nelms. He lets it go into the end zone. Aaron Mitchell was the man who was upset by Mike Nelms. And it looked a little like
Mitchell was looking back for the ball. He says, I'm going to get it. And about that time, he got drilled by Nelms in the back.
I'll tell you, as high as he kicked that football, Danny White, there should have been more Cowboys down there.
Look at Aaron Mitchell, 34. He says, I know it's up here somewhere. And Nelms says, well, you're not going to get it.
Yes. You learn a lot after a few years in the NFL. One is to keep your eye on the other guy. We'll be back in a moment.
It's ready to conquer a new decade. The most advanced Datsun 280ZX in history, with the pulsing power of a fuel-injected soul nestled in the lap of genuine leather, futuristic instrumentation, and for the first time, an open cockpit to the sky. A new 280ZX, ultimate definition of awesome.
Mr. Chairman. Yes? The delegate from New York Life wishes to...
Did the delegate say New York Life?
Yes, sir, and we...
What has New York Life got to do?
Mr. Chairman, since 1845, our company has insured 11 American presidents. 7 in this century.
Order, sir. Life insurance is a personal matter.
It's a family matter, and we vote for the candidates who choose New York Life for family protection.
Can they do that?
Shot of Roger Staubach watching his former teammates perform here in Washington.
Looks old, doesn't it?
No, you look terrific. Roger, what do you think? You're the 10 points out in front. Is it a surprise? Tell the truth.
You notice my gray hair. I think the line has done the job. The defensive line have controlled Theismann, and the offensive line has done a good job.
Well, that's good, Roger. We'll come back to him at halftime.
1st and 10, Washington. Inside 1 minute. 52 seconds to be exact. This is Harmon over the middle and upended at the 27-yard line. It'll be a hurry-up offense by the Redskins. Dexter Clinkscale, the rookie from South Carolina State, making the stop on Clarence Harmon.
Roger's right about the defensive line, and you don't run against.
Well, Joey Theismann wanted to get a playoff. He couldn't get his troops lined up. He calls timeout, moves over to visit with Jack Pardee. The Redskins have 2 timeouts remaining.
So I said to her, why don't... Look how Dad's dressed. Snazzy. The cows won't recognize him.
I'm going to talk to IBM about a computer for our farm.
IBM? A computer?
It's a special demonstration. I'm invited. I'm going. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
As innovation brings down the cost of computers, more and more small businesses have an opportunity to put this technology to work for them.
Where you headed, Jeff?
A meeting with IBM.
Well, excuse me.
And if you've never worked with computers before, we'll teach you the basics. Soon you'll actually be able to demonstrate it to yourself.
I think I've got it. This can help cut my costs.
You in your thought, Jeff?
My cows are about to enter the computer age.
You think they're ready?
They'll be tickled pink.
Computers for people who never thought they could afford them, but can. IBM, helping put information to work for people.
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports Live, Salvador Sanchez defends his crown against undefeated Patrick Ford, the WBC World Featherweight Championship.
That's our story from RFK Stadium in Washington. Dallas 10, Washington nothing. Field goal by Seption from in close, and Tony Dorsett also scoring from in close. And 2nd and 3. Complete for the first down to Clarence Harmon. The time is the key factor, and the Redskins will take another timeout. Theismann moving over to the sidelines once again. 38 seconds now indicating.
His offensive line didn't know that. They
didn't know it last time. He ought to confer with them a little bit.
Yeah, they ought to talk to one another.
Yeah, you got to get to know that offensive line.
Andy, I got a question for you.
All right, what is it?
Washington has had 13 carries.
Yeah.
Gained a total of 16 yards.
13
Their
carries.
longest run, a mere 4 yards on the night.
Are you checking my mathematics, see if I can figure out how much
All right,
they've
divide
averaged?
it out, yeah.
All right, 13 carries. It's just a little bit over a yard per carry. How about that?
In the face of that.
Yep. I wouldn't run a lot against these guys.
No, you wouldn't.
Out there. I think I'd throw those little bit. See, I really think that what Joe is doing, he's coming in there, and maybe he's gotten locked in to certain things that he wanted to try to do in this game. They haven't worked. Oftentimes, you have to get a halftime, come back out, and say, we're going to do this a little bit better. He maybe should try to work on the outside a little bit with swing passes. He's not going to run against these guys.
You know what he ought to do is get a little communication up here.
Yeah.
We got it all worked
man,
out.
we got so many answers.
Not only that, we got Staubach tonight.
Yeah, and we got questions, too. We got questions and answers.
1st and 10 Redskins. The ball at the just short of the 39-yard line of the Redskins. 38 seconds. Down to 1 timeout are the Redskins. Out to the right goes Ricky Thompson. To the left is Art Monk. Theismann feeling the pressure on a 3-man rush, but he fires and it's complete.
That was a good throw.
Guy Brown back there defensively against Clarence Harmon. This time you'll see the hurry offense. Theismann wants to, calling his troops together. Seconds ticking away. Now we have 20 seconds. Theismann. And there is a battle between Aaron Mitchell, number 34, and Buddy Hardeman. And we told you, Aaron Mitchell is physical. He is that. Filling in for an injured Aaron Kyle, who is on the injured reserve list. Time stopped, of course, with the incompletion. There's the end of the play.
Well, number one, you see that Hardeman just had that ball. It bounced up off a shoulder pad. And right now, Mitchell was just a step behind him. But you don't give him anything. Don't give him anything. He'll catch up with you in a hurry.
Interesting call now coming up by Theismann. He has 1 timeout. The Redskins, I know, would like to get Mark Mosley within some sort of reach of a field goal, put something on that scoreboard. They're down 10-0.
The Cowboys brought in their 4th defensive lineman.
Incomplete over the middle. Stops the clock with 7 seconds. It was Clarence Harmon. He was being defended against by Anthony Dickerson, the rookie free agent from SMU. 7 seconds. What do you do? Hang it up and hope for a penalty, I guess.
Theismann complaining to the official that there was interference, but...
Well, you look for any kind of help you can get when you're...
Back into the 3-man rush now. The Cowboys have Harvey Martin, Randy White, and Ed Jones, rather. Cole having come out. Charlie Waters barking instructions to his young secondary, and they are young. And there is Aaron Mitchell, second-year man. Dexter Clinkscale, 47. Eric Hurd, a rookie, is in there for San Jose State. Here it is. It'll be the last play. Providing there's no penalty. Flag is down. It's complete to Monk, and Monk is inside the 35, and the flag is down back in the Redskins' backfield. It's going to be a holding call, and it's going to be against the Redskins.
Monk gave a little bit of the same thing Aaron Mitchell's been giving out right to Aaron Mitchell. He hit him pretty good.
Time has expired in the first half. It was not a defensive penalty.
Number 74 offense, half is over.
George Stark was holding again. It was not a defensive penalty, so the half ends. All right, stick around with us. We'll be ready for halftime highlights after this message, and then a word from our local stations.